Dear student, welcome to my lecture on programming in Java. I am Dr. Ashutosh Kumar Bhatt, Associate Professor, School of Computer Science and IT, Uttarakhand Open University. So today I will discuss about object-oriented programming in Java, class fundamental, defining class, assessing class members, declaring objects. So I will cover all these topics in this lecture. So as you know, object-oriented programming, this is a high-level language programming, and if we compare this object-oriented programming, so we have lots of classes, we have object. So it is a methodology of or paradigm to design a program using class and object. So we have class, we have object, we have inheritance, we have polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation. So all these are the part of object oriented programming. However, in procedure oriented programming we have only function, and we have the approach of top down approach, while in object oriented programming we have bottom up approach. So we do the programming on bottom up approach, bottom up basis. So these are the different modules under object oriented programming. So today in this lecture we will discuss about the class. So now again some more feature of this object oriented programming. This is the main aim of this object oriented programming is to implement real world entities, for example object, classes, abstraction, inheritance and polymorphism. The popular object oriented languages are Java, C#, PHP, Python, C++, etc. And we have lots more languages. Now every language is object oriented programming language. Previously we do the programming under under procedure oriented approach. So you can see in this diagram we have class, we have object, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation. So we have to work on all these terms, and Java is a object oriented programming language. In Java we will do the programming of inheritance, we will do the programming of polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation, class and object. So today we will discuss about class and object. So under this programming, Java basic constructs are class and object, constructor, this and super keyword, inheritance, abstract class, interface we will also discuss, inner classes, exception handling is very important part of this Java, and sometime mostly we do the programming on multi-threading to make the program more faster. So these are the basic construct of Java basics. Now how to define a class. So this is about defining a class. A class is a user defined data type. So in Java we have predefined data types as well as user defined data types. So predefined data types are integer, character, float, and the same time user defined data type is structure and class. So class is a user defined data type that serves to define its property. Once the class is defined, we can create variable of it. So inside the class we define member variable as well as member function, and these member function are also called methods. In Java these variables are termed as instance of the classes, which are actual objects. So now what is a class in Java? So class is a combination of field, method, constructor, blocks, nested class and interface. It is a template or blueprint from which objects are created. So class is a combination of all these bulleted points, means fields, method, construct, blocks. So methods are functions. So sometimes we call it member function or otherwise it is methods. Constructor is also a function, but it's different type of function whose name is the name of class. So in later classes we will discuss about the constructor also. Now see this example. In this example we have created a class, its name is class simple, and inside the class we have only one function, that is public static void main. So this is a main function. So in every Java program we have to write this function, and string args is the argument, and this is optional. Sometime we pass argument to program, sometime we don't pass any argument to the program. So we have been 3 variable here: float, principal amount, rate, and time, and another variable, that is simple interest. We have here assigned values to the variable. Principal amount equals to 10,000, so 10,000 value we have assigned to the principal amount, and 15 is assigned to the rate, means rate of interest is 15%, and time 3 year. For 3 year we have to calculate simple interest. So here in the next line you can see simple interest equals to principal amount into rate into time divided by 100. So this is the formula, and finally in the last line, by system.out.println we are printing the value of simple interest. Simple interest is the message inside the double quotes. Then after plus sign we have mentioned the variable. So plus, by using this plus we are concatenating a string as well as variable. So simple interest is a variable, as well as simple interest message we have also given. So this is the simple program of Java, where we are writing this program with class, and in this program we have function, but we don't have any variable here. So now see in this figure, in a class we have fields, we have methods, constructor, block, nested class, and interface. I have already explained this to you. So now see this template, this syntax of the class. The basic form of class declaration is as below. So class, then we will write class name, and extend super class means in case of inheritance we extend the class from its superclass or its base class. In C++ it is called base class, and while in Java we will call it superclass. The base class is called superclass. So as per requirement, if we are doing the program of inheritance, then we will use this extend superclass. Otherwise we will write only class name, class and class name, and inside the curly bracket you can see here variable declaration as well as method declaration. So we have been variable, we have also same time we have the methods. Now see the method. So variable, I have already explained you the variable. Variable are the member variable of the class, means member of the class, and to manipulate these variable we require method. So I am coming on the method. So method, it should start with lowercase letter, as main, print, println are the example of variable. However, main, print and println are the predefined variable and system defined variable also. If the name contains multiple words, start it with a lowercase letter followed by the uppercase letter, such as action perform. So the variable, if variable is single word, then we will write variable in small case letter, and if the variable is in 2 word, then we will write it in camel case. This case is called camel case, where first word will be in small letter, however the second word will be in capitalized, means the first character of the word will be the capital. So you can see here action performed. This is also predefined function. In this action performed function, action is in small letter and P of perform word is in capital letter. So this is the tradition of writing the program. Suppose we are writing action performed in small letter, then it will not display any error, but we should follow the rules of this Java programming. So this should be written like that. And now see in the bottom part of this slide, class employee, this is employee class, and inside employee class we have the method. So double slash, this double slash denotes the command line. So method word is a command, so it is explaining that we are defining here method. So void draw is the method, and draw is the name of method. This is user defined method, and inside the curly bracket after this method we will write the code. So this is the complete syntax of method as well as class. So now how to add the method in a class, adding method. the general form of method declaration is type, method name, and parameter list. So in the previous example, you can see here we have written here draw method without any argument, because you can see here after draw we have simple bracket, and inside simple bracket we don't have any value, so it is blank. But we can write parameter also here. So you can see in this next slide we have mentioned here type. Type means return type of the method name, and a parameter list inside the simple bracket. So we can pass one parameter as well as multiple parameter to the function. And then inside curly bracket we have method body. And then method declaration has four basic part. Number one, method name, as you see in the above example, above syntax, method name. Number two, return type. So inside this method body we can write return type. Return type may be integer, return type may be character, return type may be float, or return type may be any user defined type. And the parameter list, inside the simple bracket we have been multiple, we can write here multiple parameter as per the requirement of, as per the need of the method. So we can pass multiple parameter over here, one parameter or more than one parameter. And finally the body of the method. So inside the curly bracket it will be the body of method. So method is a group of statement, and this method is inside the class. We will define inside the class. So we will call it sometime it is member, function, or method. And now again variable, it should start with the lowercase letter. So these are some rules while defining the variable. Variable will start by the lowercase letter. And the example of these variable are ID, such as ID, name, etc. It should not start with special character. So we will never start any variable name by $sign, by ampersand sign, by underscore sign, or any other special character. If the name contain multiple words, as in the function, same way in case of the variable, we will use camel case while defining the variable. In this camel case, the first word will be completely in small letter, and the second word will be start with the capital letter. So start it with lowercase and followed by uppercase letters such as first name. So you can see here first is in small letter, N of name is in capital letter, and comma last name. You can see another variable, that is last name. So if multiple word variable, then we will use this camel case. You can see here the bottom part of this slide, class employee, and inside this class we will be writing here integer ID. So this ID is a variable and its data type is integer, and we should avoid the single character variable name like integer X, integer Y, integer Z. This should be avoided. This we should not write such type of the variable in a Java program. Again you can see adding variable. So here we are also adding the variable. Length is a variable, its type is integer. Width is also another variable, its type is integer. So these two variables are defined inside the class, and we will write also the specifier of these variable. These variable can be defined as a public as well as private. So in this lecture I am explaining you how to write class, how to create object and method, variable. So about all these I am explaining you, and as well as I am explaining you some example of related to these defining class as well as defining object of any class. So you can see here the complete example where we have class rectangle, and inside this rectangle class we have two variable, integer length and integer width. So we can write both variable in single statement also. We can write it integer length comma width also. And then we have the function void get data, and inside this get data function we have two parameter, integer X and Y. So X is transferred to the length variable and Y is transferred to the width variable. And this is the first function, and the second function rectangle area, where we are calculating area. So we have defined here one more variable, integer area. Area equals to length multiply width. So here we have been this third variable, we are defining this third variable inside this rectangle area function, and the return type of this function is return area. The return type is integer, so the variable area is also defined as an integer. If return type, if suppose we are writing here return type float, then we will have to mention here float area, but in this case we are defining the function, the type of function is integer, that's why we have mentioned here area as an integer type variable. So this is return statement. So you can see here return statement, return, then inside the simple bracket area. Now see in the this slide, class, it should start with uppercase letter. So always we have to remember, suppose we are writing any class, so it should start with the uppercase letter, and it should be noun such as color, button, system, thread, etc. And the file name of the Java is same as the name of class, but we have to remember that we have to mention the file name of Java class where we have defined the main function, public static void main. So suppose we have more than one class inside any file, so we will write the name of file as the name of that class who is having public static void main. So you can see here public class employee, and this public is a specifier. So class, before writing a class we can mention its specifier also. So public, private, protected are the different specifier of the class. So inside this we will write the code. So object name, up now assessing the class member. Now till the time we have seen that how to define the class and how to insert variable, how to write method inside the class. So now we are discussing here assessing the class member. After defining a class, how to assess the class member. So for assessing the class member, we will write here object name dot variable and then its name. So object name, first we will write the object name, then we will write variable name. So this is in case of if we have defined variable as a public, then we will write object name dot variable name, and then its object, this its variable. Again object name dot method name and then parameter list. So like in this third line you can see here rectangle dot length equals to 15. So here the 15 value is assigned to the length variable. So length variable is a part of rectangle object, rectangle 1 object. So again you can see here in this example, again we have defined a class, and inside this class we have public static void main string args, and again we have 4 variable float, si, and 3 integer variable p, r, t, and p equals to integer dot parseInt. Inside bracket we are using here args 0, means argument, first argument, and r equals to integer dot parseInt argument 1. So here you can see here args 0 and args 1 and args 2. In all these 3 cases, all these 3 arguments, first they will be converted into integer, because we have mentioned here integer dot parseInt. So this function, parseInt function, is the part of this integer. So this parseInt function will convert the value of args 0 into integer, because arguments are basically the argument, when we will pass the argument they will be string type, because you can see the public static void main string args. So the type of args is string. So that's why we have mentioned here integer dot parseInt to convert these arguments 0, 1, 2. This is array of argument. So we are passing here 3 arguments. So all 3 arguments will be converted into integer, and after converting them into integer they are transferring to the PRT already integer type. PRT already defined as an integer. Then in next line, in this 5th line, we have mentioned this formula SI equals to P into R into T divided by 100. So PRT, the value of PRT which we have inputted, they will be multiplied and then divided by 100, and obviously the result will be in float type. So this will be transferred to the SI variable. SI already taken as a float variable. And in last line, system.out.println, we are printing the value of simple interest. Simple interest is a string, and then after plus sign we have mentioned here the name of variable. Now I am coming on the object. Object can be defined as an instance of class, like we define the variable. Variable are instance of the data type. Same way the object are the instance of the class. We can also say it variable of the class. An object contains an address and takes up some space in memory. So object always contain some space in the memory. However, the class, in case of class never takes any space in memory. So in last line you can see here, class doesn't consume any space. So while defining this you can see this is class, and in this class if we are defining this class, it means this class is not taking any space in the memory. The object of this class, suppose you will define the object of this class, then it will take the memory. Later slides you can see how to define the object of the class. So object means real world entities such as pen, chair, table, computer, watch, etc. The example, a dog is an object because it has status like color, pen, breed, etc., as well as behave like wagging the tail, barking, eating. So these are the variable. A dog is an object because of it has the state. These state are called the variable, like color, name, breed, these are the variable. So if we relate the class, if we relate the object with the physical entity, then we can say color, name, breed are the variable and these are the state, and their behavior like wagging the tail or barking are the function. The behavior is also called just like a function. So as I already told you that class having member variable as well as member function. So class is a combination of variable and function. So here with this example you can understand it. The states are just like a variable and behavior just like a function of the class. So creating an object by using the new operator, we can create the object. Object in Java are created using new operator. Rectangle RECT1 is an object of rectangle class, but we will allocate memory this RECT1 by writing this second line, RECT1 equals to new rectangle. So here new keyword is used to instantiate the object and it will provide memory to the object. So we can write these two statements in one line also. Rectangle RECT1 equals to new rectangle. This is also possible. We can write in a single statement. Now this is the complete program, class simple, where we are writing different function, different methods, as well as we are defining the object of class. In this program, the class is started by class simple. The color of this line is red, and float, principal amount, rate, time, simple interest are four variables. We have defined here principal amount, we have defined here rate, defined here time, and the fourth variable is simple interest. And now the function public void input, this is the first function. So simple amount we have initiated, we have assigned the value of simple amount is 10,000, and rate of interest 15%, means 15 value we have assigned to the rate of interest, and time equals to 3, means 3 value 3 is assigned to the time, means this is for 3 years. Second function process void, public void process. So this is the second function, its return type is void. However, in the previous function, input function, its return type is also void, and both function are public function, means we can use these function in other class also. If we define these function as a private function, then we cannot use these function in other class. So you can see here public void process, simple interest equals to principal amount into rate into time divided by 100. So this is formula we have mentioned here, simple interest equals to principal amount into rate of interest into time divided by 100. So this formula we have mentioned inside the simple bracket, and the next line where we are printing this simple interest, system.out.println simple interest plus sign to concatenate string as well as variable. So this function is closed and class simple is closed. Now another class is started here. The both classes are inside one file, because the both classes we will use combinedly in one program, because of public static void main is defined in the second class. Without public static void main we cannot execute any program. So this is the second class result, and inside this class we have public static void main string args. This will be same in all program. Simple s equals to new simple. You can see here we have defined the object of simple class in one line, equals to new simple. New keyword is used to defining the object of simple class. And then s dot input means we are running this input function, and s dot process, by this line we are running the process function. So these are two classes, simple class, and the second class is result class, and the public static void main is inside the result class. So the file name will be result.java. So always we have to write the name of file as the name of class, but the class must be the class where we have mentioned this public static void main function. So this is complete program. In this program we have class, we have different variable, we have different methods, we have public static void main, and how to define object of the previous class. This is also mentioned in this program. So as per today's lecture I have explained all the things, how to define a class and how to mention, how to write variable as well as method inside the class, and parameterized function, parameterized method, how to pass parameter to the method, as well as how to define object, and object, little bit about the object oriented programming. This is the complete program. I think you understand this concept of programming. So thank you guys, thank you student, thank you very much.